Yeah, it's not everything's going to be made public for various reasons. You're here to bring a change through the Arcturian councils on this earth to change Mother Earth's energy field to be more positive. You have a contract with Mother Earth to just bring in a new energy from your source guides, your source self,
Mm-hmm.
to end the timeline that's currently going on the planet. So your Canada is a place of refuge. You don't have much to interfere with you there,
Mm-hmm.
so you can have a clear connection. That's part of your place here on this planet. We're here to
Okay.
assist whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yes, many. I have much message didn't need to be released. I didn't have received until today.
If we have a message for you,
I
more,
guess many not I but many message put on side to public need to be released now.
well, you are on a new path this year. There won't be any major changes until mid-year or possibly the end of the year, whenever you decide to have a transformation. Now, it's mostly soul energies, not necessarily work, but you're also connected to higher astral. As you came here as a an angelic source to, I guess, say, end the current timelines of Archon. I believe some of your pictures that you just showed are Archon energies that you've known in astral, you've known on other worlds. You're here to do an energy release of many of them. Not yet, because they're not ready to leave, but you're here to kick a lot of beings off this planet. So you're just kind of waiting for the go ahead. So this year, and mostly mid year, you'll feel an energy shift of a lot of the darkness. Not all of it, but a good amount of it started to release. Like the beginning of the end of this current era, as every new era, every decade has a new vibration. This one's going to be quite different than what people are used to. So you'll have more downloads between now and then. Those downloads as beings that you're connected to are just, most of them are astral beings. They're not necessarily in the physical. They're Most of them come from different planets at this time
Mm-hmm.
that aren't seen in your solar system, or seen in your third dimension for various reasons. So, um, interesting. You might get a gag out of this. Yeah, you contribute to your different places, but one is you'll have a laugh at the shoes. People wear shoes. Yeah, part of you is like, because people's minds aren't thinking correctly. So you kind of like, you're part of a council that kind of help that world a
Shoe
lot.
shoes console.
Yeah, shoe council. It's because the mind wasn't thinking clearly. So maybe if they walk around more, their brains would, that's part of it. There are probably many animal energies here too. One of them is the dolphin. You feel like you don't have any hair. The dolphins don't have any hair either.
Mm-hmm.
Also connected to Buddhism in that regard. Also, you're part of uh, well, there's a couple of other there's one moment, the horse, the spirit horse,
Mm-hmm.
for travel. Also, you're connected to the clown, but in a more positive sense. We do have a lot of clown energy.
Mm-hmm.
Christ, that's a lot of that. I mean, there's the up and down. Clown dimensions can be really positive and very terrifying.
Yeah,
If you can imagine that. So
yeah, we have some movie that about that.
exactly. So it shows a more of a demonic energy in that. But there's also a very playful, positive side because clowns are to cheer people up, but of course the darker side would say we're here to scare the hell out of people too. So, yeah, you're here to. Obviously, they're not going to bring in full detail of your complete mission here, but
Mm-hmm.
just continue in your path of what you feel is right. You are protected and guided, and just you're not here to make huge life changes, not yet at least. But things will you will know when the time comes. Archon energies that you're assisting is released that's in the music industry that are you can say connected to Lady Gaga, kind of like they put spells on people. Their music that you're connected to release it, release the spell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take some time to release something like that because many already accepted it, so they're going through the transition of it. So you'll probably get more indication of that. You're also part of worlds that are constantly in, like that movie Inception,
Mm.
worlds that are constantly evolving, shifting. Think of like a whole world like that where some beings are part of a, like yours, kind of natural. And there's another side where the walls are moving and everything's spinning around.
Yeah.
So that's you're usually in the spin zone, but usually you can handle it. So you're, as I say, you're here to bring in. Yeah, and some of that will be downloaded more too into the earth eventually
Okay.
of those strange shifting realities. Go
Okay.
ahead if you have any questions.
Okay. Okay. Since few months we I will experience and feel inside change, or energy change, or
Yes,
what kind of thing take place.
we have downloads for the most part right now. So continue on that connection. You go to the Spirit Guide Council for information for the Earth. Even if you don't share it with everybody, you're bringing it in into your own vibrations. That's all that matters. The different alien beings you're connected to.
Yeah.
So just say continue with that. And yes, people find it strange for right now, but it is very alien. Eventually, the world will start to understand it. So the more of you collect, the better.
Mm-hmm.
At the pace you feel comfortable with. It's mostly fourth dimensional energies that you're bringing in. So that's what the world has not figured out. Different types of zetas you're connected to. A lot of them have one eye. So those haven't been spoken to. Cyclops
Mm.
zetas. Some of them are very advanced. Some of them are very vicious. Um, those are the ones that you observe. Some zetas you can incarnate where it's so difficult to be in incarnation with them. You almost get trapped. Meaning they feel like they have to incarnate with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't find their way out. Kind of like Earth in some ways. So those are the ones you're watching. You can call them the red Cyclops, Zetas. They have different names. Also, you watch the Fandorians, as some of them are positive, but some of them aren't. Some of them are causing disruption in the education systems here
Mm-hmm.
of just slowing things down. They're afraid of humans evolving. Some of them are. They don't like to mention that. Some of them are actually very small. Some can be very like small people, like
Okay.
really, really tiny.
Tiny, tiny. Okay. And any few information about any form of Zeta wizard?
What is this about the Zeta?
Zeta wizard.
Oh, the Zeta Wizard? Yes. Those are a few of them that you're connected to at this time. They they try not to give too much information to this Earth, but they are assisting it in this Earth's survival. And you do appear as a Zeta Wizard at times. Yes, you've had incarnations with them. You can say currently you have one at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're assisting much of the guide council, spirit guide council of the Earth, because the Earth has spirit guides too. It's not just, yes, you have Mother Earth, but also spirit guides of the planet, like guardians,
Oh, yeah.
and you're connected to that guide council, even if you don't always agree with it. You're bringing assistance where you can only do so much on. You were one of the guide councils at one time. Technically, you still are, but there's only so much you can do there, so you decided to incarnate here. So you bring as much truth as you can to this reality.
Okay. I choose to put the hand in the dirt.
Yes, more to it than that. In the mud, most likely.
Yeah, I think I meant more the expression. Okay. Um, what will how about my health situation, and what form of change that seem to will come?
What is it you want to know about your health exactly?
How you say that?
What do you want to know exactly?
General health situation, and what will probably come with the time when I will continue to become old.
Throughout this year, you'll feel better. Nothing too drastic.
Mm-hmm.
Your health situation is because your energy field can't always adapt to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the best you can, but you're mostly an outside being. Yes, you've been here many times, but you're mostly outside the world. You don't normally come to this world.
In the way my body is less adapt to the earth situation.
Yes, right.
Okay. Um,
So, I mean, the sickness, if you incarnate here many times, you become more third dimensional,
mm-hmm.
usually, not always. But if you're not here very often, I mean, you have many lifetimes here, but not
Yeah.
constantly.
How many life I done here?
Not always. They say it's over 100, but it's probably more than that. Probably, they're reluctant to go into details. Around 700 lifetimes here. But they're not all long. A lot of them are short. A lot of them are animals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are in spirit guides. You're adding that as a spirit. When you're like a main guide, you're pretty much like a, you're pretty much like a member of this planet too. In that regard, because you're feeling the effects of it, even if you're not here physically, but you're still playing a big role here.
Like I'm still around, whatever.
You've been
For
a main guide here many times.
okay.
It's one of the reasons why you came here. Because once again, being a main guide doesn't always get the job done. I feel like you can do it more in the physical.
Okay. I'm just curious to know what form of change who thing will come for the few part of family. Um, for my the first brother Daniel, what kind of change that come for him for the next year or maybe the next 2 year?
Less negativity, but still confusion. He's still going to be kind of off mentally, as he is now. At least from our perspective, he is. So he's going to be kind of headstrong, but he's going to become more of a lighter person, but not yet. So he's going to start figuring out his life, but he needs all these troubles to understand who he is right now. So difficulty has its positives. It's just difficult in that position, of course. So with your input will help with him.
Okay. Okay. Sister Julie.
Things will get better, but she's going through a lot of mental anguish here, so she's going to go through a lot of challenges.
English. What you mean? What that mean?
Just challenges with people, relationships,
Okay.
is this something she needs to go through? Not willing to know herself as she could. So it's part of soul growth. We recommend trouble. I mean, if you're gonna come into this world, you might as well go through something.
Okay.
If everything's working out for you, it doesn't work. It doesn't kind of ruins the whole point of being here.
Does
So
does does she will be able to become more uh, autonomous? Be I'm not sure how to say that. To work, to find something, to a job, to find a job, or to be
mm,
more self-independent.
I feel like she doesn't really want a job. She's just trying to figure herself out right now. So she might find a job possibly, but she's kind of dealing with herself at
Okay.
this time. So
That
not
mean
likely. It's a
that
possibility, but it's not likely.
that mean that his boyfriend will probably be they will probably be together for a few years.
Yes.
Okay. He's like his helper in in this process.
Yes.
Okay. My other brother Pierre in information in his process.
Uh, that one will improve a great deal. A better year. This will be a better year for him. Doesn't mean that he'll prosper financially in a huge way, but he will feel better about himself and find what he's looking for in his life. He's at a
Okay.
turning point that he'll just become more better about himself. So things are looking good. It won't be easy, but things are looking better than they ever have before.
Okay.
So
Thus, in general, the family connection will be better, or will still be like distant together for a few years again.
yeah, it'll be distant. It'll be a little bit more together slightly. The brother, the first one you mentioned, is probably the one that's going to go through the most challenges from what we were seeing.
Okay. And the other one is about mother. What is next year challenge that come or change?
She's finding herself better. Um, she's still going through her own difficulties. She's not willing to let go of. So she's probably going to bring people in her lives that are going to test her. She's not ready for the easy life anytime soon. She needs more confidence about herself. She's not
Okay.
trusting herself. So she's going to bring people in her lives to kind of push her into knowing. She just, most likely, she's never going to have an incarnation anytime soon where she really is confident about herself fully. She's
Okay.
always doubting herself, and that's why alcoholism comes in, different things come in. She's just not really, self love is not really engaging as it could. She thought children would bring it, it kind of made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of got more separated from herself. So it was a possibility for making peace with that, but no time soon.
Okay.
She's on that
What
path, though. Yes.
what have been his main lesson or learning process in his life?
Of whose? Your mother's or
Yeah. Yeah.
self love
Mm-hmm.
and self trust. Of partly she wanted to control the children when they're younger because she can't have no control of herself and others. She's kind of always sheltered the kids in a certain way instead of letting them explore themselves. So her energy, of course, is around the children more than it probably has to be because she's still trying. She's kind of like living through her children right now,
Yeah.
and not so much through herself. So 'cause she's not ready. That's why she has children who they are because they do take, even if life isn't easy, then again, it never is. Uh, take responsibility for themselves, and she's doing that, but not as much as she could have. So
Okay.
if you feel her presence around, that's why she's not really. She's not willing to just have her own energy with herself. She has to have it with other people right now.
Okay. I understand. The next person, I just want to know what kind of change? I post the picture in the
Hmm.
Hangout chat. I just put the
Yes.
eyes. I just want to know what kind of change come and w- if any form of connection change will come.
So who is this being with the eyes? Who is this?
Nancy, the girl I met 20 years ago, but I still have a kind of connection with. Without I don't see her, but I still have some form of connection with her. I just
Yes.
want what kind of change, what
Well, she has a
maybe.
reptilian presence there. So part of her is you have like an astral connection, is what you're mentioning.
I guess it's more that because I don't see her, but it's
Yes.
like always something inside about her.
Well, she's been like a twin soul to you in previous incarnations. So she's warning you're warning through each other. She's going through a lot too at this time. That's why you're there with her. That's why you feel her presence. So you're working through her, what she's going through in her life at this time. She's in some ways a soulmate, but not a strong one.
Hmm.
So you're just going through it. You're learning from each other at different levels. So, but she's more of a reptilian presence at this time.
Presence as guide or what what is the
Not a
quality?
guide, just a friend or a relationship energy.
Hmm.
She
And
just
what this connection have will change or will only still be connect through spirit or we will maybe one day just resolve some I don't know what and we be able to talk and reconnect physically together.
well, she hasn't talked for the physical yet because she's going through a lot of self conflict. So it's unlikely she'll make an appearance anytime soon. Maybe in the future, possibly if it's needed. If you feel like you need it. But for the most part, you are fine without her from what we're seeing.
Yeah,
For now, at least.
yeah. For now, I don't think I will be able to make direct connection.
Mm.
I feel it's. I don't know why it's hard for my system to be around there.
Possibly she'll reach out to you if there's any reason for your connection at all.
What kind of change or challenge you have now?
Mental, mostly relationship connections and self love. Self love is a major difficulty, but just finding a purpose in life seems to be the big one at this time.
Mm-hmm. And what his husband bring to her in his life? What kind of
What is it of your question?
what his husband bring to her in his life like learning process?
Her husband,
Yeah.
it's to help her with self doubt. She's not, as many females do not trust themselves. So, mostly helping her self doubt. There's more to it than that, but it's mostly self doubt at this time.
Okay.
Giving her confidence.
Mm. Okay. Um, does any other entity wish to come in to release some information?
Yes, of course. It's blessings to you.
Thanks to you.
Greetings to you. We are the Arcturians. Blessings. We are from the
Hi.
council. Greetings.
Did you wish share a name?
We are the council. Murdoch
Okay.
is a name we can use. Yes, you're healing a lot of reptilian vibrations they've been through in this incarnation, mostly from your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You're also bringing in, yes, an Arcturian vibration of clearing out self doubt for others, not so much yourself. You're here exploring other people's energies. You go into their higher self and connect to them. So those that you connect to, even on the internet, or if you see somebody, even or like these little singer people that are on your picture here,
Mm-hmm.
um, you connect to them in astral and kind of get to know them. Sometimes you get kicked out because they don't like what you said. Not to say they're trying to be rude, but sometimes just you notice things that they don't notice, and it's like, you guys aren't really what we thought you were you? And they don't like that. So you get kicked out. Not always, but at least in that senior groups, yeah, definitely there. So, but you bring observation back to you. You bring into this reality what others probably see, but not really. We have another way, another set of eyes, and you look at things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna bring us like a song of energy, of kind of like a key of unlocking this reality. As it's worded differently. Also, you're telling Mother Earth she doesn't have to be like this anymore. Kind of giving her a break from all of her negativity she's going through. There's also a Mother Earth reality where she is like a queen. And technically she's a queen here, but nobody sees her. Well, you technically do, but don't. But there's a reality where she is like queen of the world, a reality of Earth. And you are, how would you say, like a knight, something around those lines, of just releasing a lot of manipulations she fell for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that think about a queen that's a queen of the earth forever. So it's a very different reality what you're used to, and so that's affecting this world. So you might see the Queen of England there as like her daughter, pain in the ass daughter. But she has not been living forever. See, the Queen, the Mother Earth in this reality can live forever, but children not so much. She outlives. She doesn't change in age either. She looks like 30, but her kids can look old and then
Mm-hmm.
die off, and she still lives past them. So this is somebody you're healing a lot of the. I mean, of course, you're warning a great deal about yourself. In this world, you're just warning self confidence. Also, you're kind of connected to shadow energies. Once again, releasing. You're like, kind of like a detective. You're looking for certain alien beings they're doing good here, but also those that are causing trouble.
Okay.
So you're kind of like that's why you live where you are. You're kind of a translucent being, kind of here, but then you disappear. You show up in astral around people all the time, and then you disappear. Say how's it going? You talk to them for a bit, and then disappear. They don't know who the hell you were. They try to find you, but they can't find you.
Okay.
So
Um, what is probable change for the next year in the job situation?
what is it that you're looking for the job situation? What is it you expect, or like more pay or
Uh,
something, or is that what are you looking for exactly?
no, at this moment that I know is not is that is it coming where I work at this time is not is a good job. I probably one
Mm-hmm.
of the good place I
Mm-hmm.
have
Yes.
experience at this moment, and but at the same time is like doing all at the time the same thing. It's like
Yes, we understand.
I
Well, you're going.
look a little bit. I know it's good, but at the same time I need something different.
Yes.
I don't.
We feel like you guys you're going to go up in management if you wish to, or if not, there somewhere else. So it's something to look into. We don't have 100% on where that's going. If that does any of that even make any sense?
How you said that?
Upper management direction.
No, I cook. I'm cook there. I never really make any form of management.
Yes, but we think we can, or like a head, a more. I believe. I mean, for anything that really changes, a different job altogether, like a different location, a different place. Keep your profession, but go somewhere else where you can move up. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it, you need, from what you see, part of it, it's good for you to be there to concentrate on your life situation.
Yeah.
Aliens are connecting to everything. You don't want too much change in this reality, like too much responsibility.
Oh yeah, because of that taking energy.
Because you're more in the fourth dimension or fifth dimension or higher. So sometimes repetitiveness is good. I know it's hard, but um, at least you know what you're dealing with. Than having a management position where there's this problem, that problem is like, and then you're so 3D, you don't know what to do it yourself. It's almost worse.
Yeah. There's no
So, well, you
feedback.
see that you'll have something else to think about when you're doing this repetitive work. We see it, you just thinking about your mindset will change. I mean, you'll just connect to new things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Through your astral connections. Well, I'll give you an example. Your astral connections, like all the little alien beings that you're picking up, you can bring in different astral worlds. Ask the universe, can I see something that no one else has seen? I think
Mm-hmm.
you've already done that. Like, of course, partly you're at work doing this. Like, you won't want to leave work. Like, get out of this place and just go explore. But yes, you can ask for different astral realities to be brought to you, and you can write them down or draw them, what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You're doing that to an extent, but you can take it to a whole nother level because you are connected to different universes at this time,
Mm-hmm.
strange ones. Because you're in a human body, human reality, and it kind of takes the fun out of all these strange worlds. Well, not really, but the more open you are to these realities,
Mm-hmm.
like a Silver Surfer world where some beings are on a surfboard flying. That's more of a human thing. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
them are just spirit beings flying around and changing their presence. Like they see something and they change into it. They shapeshift into it. And then they warn what it is. They don't even know what the shape shifted into. So the one that the guides want you to say is like some beings would turn into a toilet just to know what it is. And then they find out what it is. And it's like, I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore. So that's kind
Yeah.
of a game. Yes, go ahead, please, if you have questions.
Okay. Um, I just upload two more picture.
Yes, I see that.
I just
Yes.
draw. The first one is I call that Siamese wolf. Any information about that?
And these two are the same or two different beings?
Two different. The
Yes,
first
feels like
picture is the same, but well, I think it's probably the same Siamese wolf.
yes, it's like a two-headed wolf.
Yeah, it's like two head connected there.
Yes, those are. I want to call it the bar. They're kind of like one moment. I would call it a barbaric reality where the two-headed wolf is a being that is sometimes a predator energy. There are humanoid versions of it that are some of them are nice, some of them are not. Like a world with two-headed beings. Like say like if you're like as a this can be also a humanoid being too, a
Mm-hmm.
two-headed wolf being, and they can be if they're the only beings like that on a planet, and the planet knows that something like this can exist. It can really be terrifying. It can also be enlightening, but those that can abuse human because they have a lot of psychic power
Mm.
that can control a planet, like Skeletor in your He-Man universe.
Okay.
Canine beings have been similar to that, controlling worlds that you've been connected to. So I don't believe you had an incarnation like that, but you know of them. Some of them
Yeah.
are, they can go on and on with that, but they have a positive too. I mean, every being does, even if the most wicked ones do.
Okay. The
So,
second.
uh, well, they want to say that you had just a father, and you were a canine being, a humanoid, but
Uh-huh.
your father was a two-headed one, and he was like a king, and so you didn't grow born with two heads, which was fine with you, but you weren't necessarily part. You were royalty, but not like the being the king stature. That was in Sirius, I believe Sirius B, but we'll call it Sirius right now.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm.
Okay. The second one I call that Palunki.
Yes, and
Information about that.
that's a canine being too, or is that?
I don't know what is it. I just draw it. If you
Well, we
can
see
help
it's
me.
it's like an energy being. It's kind of a being like a hamster, like a canine hamster slash. Yeah, it can be in human. Well, this one's usually not. It can be in humanoid form. A canine, yes, it's like an energy being, but also it can be in the physical, at least in the fourth dimension, even in third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
It can be very. One moment. Yes, a canine slash hamster being, where they're kind of in insects sometimes, depending on the being, but they're kind of like trolls. They're mostly watchers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really interact with them. They're kind of like your Bigfoot in some ways, but they interact with their own kind. They don't really interact with many.
Okay.
So that's a Paul. What do you call it? The Palky or something?
Yeah.
Palky.
Palunki.
Palky.
PA.
That's fine. Those are more of the nicer ones. There are others that are not. That's always going to be. Yeah, you're more connected to the more positive ones.
Okay. Just quick information about what come for the next year or 2 year about Canada in general.
It's going to be relaxed as usual. It's going to try. I mean, politics there is going to be trying to get everybody's attention, but then everyone's going to forget.
Mm-hmm.
So I think drug laws are going to get a little bit better, especially for like marijuana. That's going to start improving better, and it's becoming more relaxed. Your Asian populations are going to grow slightly. In the Arabic, we don't see anything too major going on there overall. As for you being there, you're going to feel a lot better being there
Mm-hmm.
and understand it better right now. I mean, yes, it might not be the most exciting place in the world, but there are other places that it's better to be there than other places. But you're just going to have a more, I mean, your connection to alien energies is stronger than it ever has been before. So your understanding of it, you might feel their presence around possibly. It's hard to say at this time.
Okay. Does we will see more information about corruption release like we see in USA or maybe in
Corruption release, yes.
UK?
Slightly, but nothing too major just yet. But yes, in the coming years, Canada corruption is going to start to really not too fast because there's so much of it. Like Trudeau is pretty much a two-faced politician, so he's kind of sold his soul out. He sold himself out
Mm-hmm.
many times. So
Does the next the next election does we will see more probable, more good, better prime minister?
well, after Trudeau leaves, yes, but slightly. It'll be the one after that next prime minister. Things will get a lot better. As I
Okay.
say, corruption can't leave too fast, too soon.
Okay.
People are used to it. They feel weird if they don't have any corruption there. They're so used to it. It's like an ingredient in food. You
Uh,
change it too fast, it feels like if you change milk and put some like a replacement for milk. Some people are like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. It's kind of the same thing.
yeah, I can stop put salt on the meat.
Exactly.
Okay, that's probable. The last time the last election we have Maxime Bernier have tried to be to be in to be elected. Does he will still be around for the next one?
Who is this, Matt? Can you explain more of who this is?
Maxime Bernier
Who is?
is the guy which tried to be elected the last
Oh,
time.
that he's going to try to be elected this time, or
The last election. Does he will still try for the next one the next time or?
we see him try. I don't believe he's going to make it though. We don't see him winning. We see somebody else getting in there.
Okay. 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 Um, what kind of I know for a previous message received by Ivan
Mhm.
in the past week, you have one of about more form of manifestation will come.
Memphis
Uh,
slowly. I think it's going to be more in your creative connection, like you did these drawings.
yeah.
Let that continue. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just and add names to them, whatever comes to mind. Continue in that path. That's even worlds, universes. Take it as far as you need to go, wherever you want to do. Universe, even a universe. Certain type of Asian people you're very connected to. Some have little squeamy little eyes. Some have really big ones. You're very connected to Asian populations. I don't know if you feel that or not.
I know I've maybe 2 3 texts I write and I not necessarily wish to push really much on that, but I just spend more time to just try to find detail about that, like a mind map,
Hmm.
but not necessarily to push about that. Uh,
Hmm.
it just not that that in some way that just mean that I will not. Uh, that experience is more just a trial or just a way to practice myself for something bigger in the future, or just like a stepping stone for the next step, or
A stepping stone for right now. Like I
yeah,
said, your third dimensional life might not be, like I said, the most exciting, but your astral world is going to upgrade itself a lot. Like we're telling Ivan right now for his energies with you, like when he gives you a message on the chat apps on the is look at different worlds. He's going to give him information of worlds for you to open up, for you to download.
mm,
Like if you pick up on something, you want to ask him, or we're going to just kind of assist with them of different world realities. You know, like I
mm,
said, the Cyclops people, and many worlds like that. Earth worlds are like that. Zeta worlds, where yes, you have the Zeta wearing like a suit. There's a suit. They wear clothes like you guys.
snowsuit.
They wear clothes. There you have strippers. You have all this stuff. All Zetas.
Oh, stripper maybe not.
Maybe a little bit rough, huh?
Yeah,
But you
nothing
got
to
it.
show.
No. They have enlargements too.
Yeah, full of peanut.
I mean, you
Yeah.
want people to awaken. You gotta have to open the can first.
Yeah,
I mean, people want this fourth dimension, but they're terrified of its real results.
yeah. What is the other side
Yes,
of the
they
door?
see you see all the pink fairies and all that, but then they see a Zeta doing a on a pole dancing thing. It's like, what's that?
Yeah.
Or a
And
lizard person, or a cat. Some cat people are a lot more attracted than those Zetas, but
I know a few weeks ago I tried to. I think it's. I don't know when exactly. I asked her for any form of message from the shadow self, and it was not able to give in public situation.
Oh yes. Well, yes, you have a darker self that is ruling a world similar to Mars at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a is the presence of there. Let's put it that way. Not like a king or anything like that you would normally see, but basically the agenda. Basically, this Earth is you have a shadow incarnation, yes, a dark shadow of when the Earth went down into third dimension. You were involved with that too. It's like here's
Mm-hmm.
my darkness too, and you had like a version of you that was like a slave at slaves during the Roman time period
Okay.
was born too. So you just kind of kick out all of that wizard energies, bring in the new or the third dimensional knowledge from the Anunnaki actually. Now you've healed all that, but it was a side of you. Yeah, you're a slave owner that was not kind. Not like you're horrible, but you just kind of treat him like shit. But once again, he healed from that a long time ago.
Does does I maybe you don't have the possibility to connect to everything about what kind of incarnation I go through. Does I be any form of incarnation where I be really really fucking dark?
Would it be really dark? Well, like the slave owner incarnation.
Maybe
Uh,
more. I don't know what. I
well,
guess it.
yes, I mean even connected to uh, like lifetimes connected to the Masons building castles that are dark.
Yeah.
Even an architect. You never went to the church, but he did architect castles in their past,
Mm-hmm.
and those are kind of dark because it was like here. Yes, you develop weapons that can cause great harm too in the Middle Ages, I believe. That really can do some damage. Kind of like a dirty bomb, but it wasn't a bomb. But it was like it would go like torture devices or like shooting like what is it? Not swords, but spears into the sky to into the other side.
Yeah, like missile.
Yeah, they developed many weapons in their past. So I believe the weapons creator is probably the most darkest you've had. But it was like it had a purpose. It wasn't like you're just trying to be dark.
I guess I clean that and be I
Yes,
healed everything.
healing it right now. It's still in the healing process, but the karma isn't as bad as it used to be. So you're in the. It's kind of like you're just taking time for yourself. Usually, just kind of because you had a lot of times you're connected to everybody and just a very social life, and now you kind of stepped away from a lot of that.
Okay.
So yeah, a weapons creator, a a castle creator. No, yes, you've had lifetimes on other worlds. Well, yes, where you were, yes, build weapons for Zetas and also for Anunnaki to control planets. Those are your dark
And
lifetimes.
and
And
I
you weren't
guess
a Zeta. You were kind of like this unknown being that nobody even heard of.
and the good side of that is when you reincarnate and good side, you know
Mhm.
how to disable this.
Exactly. That's how it works. Well, you get tired of being bad. You get it out of your system. So let's put it this way. You've had the ability, yes, to create like the Death Star. That
Mm-hmm.
guy who created that thing, yeah, you had the capabilities of that. And Not to say that you were there to blow up planets, but you knew how to do it. It's like if they take your tools and do it, you never really like hired to do something like that, but you did have things that were very similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other beings take your technology and do it, yes. A lot of beings stole your stuff. It's like, it was never meant to do that, but you knew it could be used for, and it was used for that. But you didn't necessarily get the karma for that because you weren't really. And I mean, you did a little bit. You felt responsible, but you've been tricked into it. So, you know,
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
it's all part of soul growth. Like I say, a lot of times you didn't have the worst intentions towards anybody. It's just just like a soldier in war. It's like you are who you have to be for that lifetime to survive. So not that you're trying to be negative or anything. You don't see it that way.
Does does I have any form of connection with the Nine Dragon Council?
Yes, it's a healing energy at this time. Now, what they say about those lifetimes are necessary for soul growth. Not necessarily for your soul growth, but for soul growth for other beings. You're
Okay.
testing it because you brought down a lot of defenses. All these Palladian beings, oh, we're fine. We have the best security system ever, and you show up and say, never mind. Like, well, I guess we were wrong. And you find a lot of worlds like that. It's kind of like breaking into somebody's house, shutting down their system, and then letting other beings in there to steal all this shit. Kind of like that.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, you've done this for. I mean, if we want to humanize it a little bit for you, I mean, obviously to worlds, that's pretty much the idea. But like these, like Fort Knox, all these little powerful places, even the Pentagon. The Pentagon, you would need help on, but yes, you probably could find a way of working through that. That would take some time, but you could find a way. That would take a lot of time and resources, but you will find a way. So,
Yeah.
just to give you an example of what you're capable of. So, we want to just throw this out. Like the Pentagon's like, yeah, we may not have been a huge break in, but we did open the door. We got in a little bit. So,
Yeah.
to give you an
Understand.
idea of what you're capable of. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
For the last thing, does Prime Creator wish to jump in?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Let's see.
Thank you.
Greece is a prime career. Blessings to you.
Hi, Prime. Nice to hear you.
Yes. How can we help?
We still have a few minutes. Did you have, from your point of view, did you wish to give a few message that could be useful to for me?
Well, yes, you're here to energy wise. You're here to like crack the code of third dimension where you're allowed to. So you're here to change the energies of the earth. So technically, right now, you are doing different combinations to allow the third dimension to slowly more release. So you do it from your location where nobody knows where you are. I mean, nobody. Actually, they do, but either way, it's kind of like like in astral, you find information and you give it to those. So the download, you're in this reality. You break the code of third dimension, kind of let it go. It's like here, you want how do you break out of alcoholism? Here's a download. Here's a download about not necessarily for wealth. You stay away from that one because I can give you karma. So stay away
Okay.
from that. But just give people idea of how to break out of what they're used to.
Okay, like the solution to the problem.
Exactly. So you get positive karma with that. I mean, people that want to manifest money, you kind of just So your own manifesting will get stronger here as you just, you know, you have to truly desire something, whatever you want. Part of you is waiting, but there are things that you want, but haven't occurred yet. Of course, they will. It just takes time. Sometime this year, you'll have a breakthrough of what you're looking for, whatever that is. They're not telling you what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Any message maybe for Ivan before we go?
From was it higher self or
No, for Ivan. Well,
oh, fine.
from I don't know which entity wish or you
Oh,
wish to give.
yeah. There's going to be a lot of private energy. Yes, it's going to be a lot of blocks in the roads. But for right now, only because humanity doesn't want to change, and you feel that too. You're making progress. It's like many of you see. It's kind of like for you both in some ways, or those like you want change on the earth. It's basically just roadblocks. Like here, humanity. Here, you don't have to go through this anymore. And I said, yeah, we do because we're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So many of you see the future in a more enlightened area, but humanity keeps stopping it, and it gets frustrating. Because technically, where you are, you can be at a whole different job, but it will happen. It just takes forever. So humanity is under, yes, a dark spell. He said, and it's slowly coming out of it. It's just basically trusting itself. You don't have to be connected to aliens and just, I mean, more connections from higher self will come through. They can believe whatever they want. So humanity is just not. It's just believing in what this person's saying, what this person's saying, not what their own self is saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, just keep going. Yes, keep. If there's a roadblock, you'll find a route around it. Let's put it that way. Just keep doing it. Things are not going to be the easiest this year, but we'll it's kind of have to snake through all of it. But things will improve somewhere. But I don't even know where. It'll occur eventually. So breakthroughs will be made. That's all we can say.
Okay, thanks.
Is there anything else from us?
Now you can back Ivan back.
Oh, well, we do have a message for you. One last thing, just don't. I mean, not to say you're going to give up, but yes, we do connected to different worlds, realities, animal, different alien beings, just universes. Let all that, just whatever you feel that you want to connect with, but realize the universe and other universes, or just worlds in this universe you like to tap into more. I believe that bring more self satisfaction to you. Whatever feels comfortable. If it was the planet of women, go right ahead. Whatever works.